Alright everyone, when limited state was rolled out, it was basically a form of really, really underhanded censorship, and it's not even applied to the stuff that YouTube said it was going to apply to. It's basically 30s music, that gets put in limited state, something with a mildly offensive opinion, something, you know, they've got the Star of David on the thumbnail, so it gets put into limited state. It's not exactly the hate-filled, violent extremism content that they promised would actually be there. You know, I think by extremist content, most people assumed that they meant, oh, you know, some cleric who's saying kill gay people. You know, because it's secondhand, the uploader's not the cleric themselves, you're not going to ban them for inciting violence. It's just footage that they happen to put up there, but you want to suppress it. That's not what's happened. You look through these lists of extremist content, almost all of it's like old World War II or interwar era music. It's like the funniest thing I've ever seen that's actually there. It's really, really strange. But YouTube has decided to expand its post-TOS era, which is really what this boils down to now. If you have a consistent pattern of uploading, you know, edgy, offensive, stuff that would have been considered novel and interesting on YouTube a couple years ago, but now bothers every NGO under the sun, you might lose your partner status, which means, you know, you're not going to stream. No long uploads for you. No appealing strikes in the partnership manner. That you may not be able to trend, like, you know, fuck you, you can't be on trending no matter how viral your video actually is. Other people will never see it. You won't be on the up next thing, which I guess is like, it sort of spits out a video. You've watched one and you've got autoplay on. Like, I don't use it, so, you know, that wouldn't affect me. And also they've decided in the last 72 hours, they're all saying, oh yeah, we're going to start like manipulating the related videos. Like, you might not be on related videos if you're guilty of wrongthink. So if your content is more than PG-13, basically there's no reason to use YouTube at that point. There's really no reason to use it because you're not going to affect anyone, you're not going to gain any audience. The only way that material will spread is if people start using some off-site search feature. Like, what you would have to do is develop a website that simply it crawls over YouTube, and it indexes everything and continuously you know, monitors channels and allows a search functionality that demanipulates it, essentially. I would say probably such a site should also block results from CNN, Fox, and groups like that in hopes of suppressing them further, like as a way of fighting back against censorship. Because this is corporate censorship. It's the only point of it. And here's the thing, though. Here's an aside to YouTube. Fiscally speaking, it's a very, very bad idea to be promoting the legacy media and the legacy entertainment world. And I'll tell you why. Because you offer a streaming bundle that lets people pay to access that content. You're saying, though, they can still put that, you know, content that people would otherwise pay for on their own private channels where you don't have to pay a dime. You know, they've already got the streaming bundle, so they're not going to care. It's YouTube that gets screwed if that happens. They'll give that stuff to people for free, and you're jerry-rigging all of their crappy videos that in many cases are not properly tagged. Their titles suck. They don't know how to push them. All they can do is pay to have them pushed for them. You're taking that material up and over independent creators, putting it in the related videos so that people are being drawn to their free content. Why are they going to buy the streaming bundle? And by the way, the audience on YouTube, it's so much younger, most of us will never actually want to watch that content in the first place. What you're doing is you're not serving people the kind of content they actually want to see. Now, you've continuously remanipulated algorithms, especially with regards to related videos, over and over again. Some of those changes have been okay. Most of them, though, have been negative. They've affected large independent content creators the same as they do small ones. What you've done now is throttle off all the newcomers so that there's only a trickle of people now entering sort of the upper rungs of YouTube. You've said to them, now, of course, you know, you're not going to be able to monetize or do a million other things until you hit a certain threshold. The problem is, of course, getting to that threshold with those new rules in place. Once they get there, if their content's edgy, they won't even be able to take advantage of that anyway. They won't be able to be monetized. Like you say, well, Logan Paul did something we find objectionable, so, you know, we're not going to ban him because he didn't do anything specifically against our rules. We're just going to de facto ban him by preventing him from being seen. And he's a lame streamer. Keep that in mind. It's a big difference. Twitter just banned Paul Nalen, I think his name is, you know, for arbitrary purposes. Apparently it was the result of a rating. It wasn't the result of any specific thing. I guess what he did is he what was it, the wife of Prince Harry or something there, he put like a caricature over her face, and people interpreted it as racist, even though it was, it was basically just a fucking joke. It's like, you can take a joke, if you're offended, you don't have to retweet it, that's the whole point. All of these tech sites are ready to strangle themselves. This is why I've wanted to build a presence on this is why I have a BitChute channel. This is why I use Maker support. This is why I'm on PewTube and even Dailymotion. Some of the older big tech firms, basically, have begun to function more ably. Because of these problems, the only thing that can pose a threat to YouTube is YouTube's own rules at this point. It's the only thing that can negatively affect it. Look, no other site is going to be able to unseat YouTube unless YouTube makes mistakes. If you want to go the way of MySpace, all you have to do is alienate enough of your creators. The problem is this. If you alienate just a fairly small handful of very large users, you're going to alienate everyone they know. You're going to alienate everyone they talk with. You're going to alienate all their fans. That stretches on to millions or tens of millions collectively of people who aren't part of the lamestream. They're not exactly getting their news from CNN. By the way, if you're worried about, well, something objectionable might be monetized, somebody might have partner status or whatever and put something on there that's edgy, the lamestream media does that all the time. They televise car chases. They talk about terrorism. They talk about war. They show war footage. They show all sorts of horrible shit on the news. They also encourage horrible. They explicitly encourage violence every time they say, oh yeah, we gotta get behind this politician who's saying we need to bomb some foreign country. That's okay though, because that's a corporation. They have money, I suppose. Well, there are YouTubers that have plenty of money. PewDiePie's loaded. I guess, I think Mal News said Logan made how much? Like $1 million a month or some crazy shit like that? And his audience isn't even top tier in size compared to like PewDiePie. I'm getting by, man. I wish I made $1 million a month. After a few months, I wouldn't care what the TOS were. I'd be retired and just be making videos for fun at that point. And switch over, just use BitChute. But I mean, come on. YouTube has decided not to change its TOS. It's just going to arbitrarily determine whether you're one of the cool kids at this point. Well, it used to be that was a judgment that other people made. You were trying to garner an audience and have them spend their time watching your videos, have them click like, or you remember the old ratings, the star system that they had originally, until late 2008 when they switched to the up or down thumb sort of system. That used to be how it worked. You had to make things interesting. Make them flashier, make them smarter, make them more entertaining in some way, make them more intelligent. Now you don't have to do that. Now you just have to dumb it down and be very lamestream and apparently look good, so that on camera, you appear good. Why do you think I refuse to wear like a shirt most of the time? I don't want people to judge me based on my appearance. I want them to judge based on what I'm saying. I don't care if it holds back the spread of my videos. Like some people are like, well, I can't share your videos, you're shirtless. Never go to the beach, okay? Never go to the beach and never go anywhere where they're having a heat wave. You'll be morbidly offended and you won't like what you see, apparently. Maybe, I guess if I was a chick, it would be okay for me to dress like this, though. They wouldn't have a problem with that. Neither males nor females, oddly enough. Yeah, so thanks to Logan Paul, I guess that's the excuse. They've done this before. They used PewDiePie as an excuse for adpocalypse. It was just an excuse. PewDiePie didn't do anything that was actually particularly bad. And then PewDiePie's second bout there, they're like, oh, we're going to start looking at whether people can have partner status if they're offensive. And now, you have the Logan Paul fallout, which, I mean, it's just a cop-out. It's a way for the legacy media to drum up fake outrage, or literally virtue signaling, to try to convince YouTube that there's a problem. To try to convince the soccer mom crowd that there's a systemic problem on the platform that needs more censorship. And it's not keeping people safe. It's not demanipulating news results. It's not fixing things because there's no problem. It's just censorship. That's all it is. That's all it's going to be. So I oppose it completely. There's a reason why I'm building up my presence on other sites. That's going to continue. I've been doing that since I had to get to it, like at the, after the election, getting a Twitter account. I didn't want a Twitter account. I don't want to have to use Facebook or Twitter. I don't want to have to dick around with other video hosting sites, but I have to, because I'm going to safeguard my material. People want to watch it. They have a right to watch it. The fact is, I'm breaking no U.S. law in what I'm doing here. YouTube shouldn't have a problem with me. If I say fuck, that's okay. Tell your kids not to watch my channel. Be responsible. Actually be an adult for a change. The funny part is that these people say, well, these immature YouTubers doing screwball stuff. Okay, You would have been one of the people who thought Jackass should not be allowed on TV back in the 1990s. You would have been one of the chorus of people saying the Beatles shouldn't have their albums distributed in the US. They're immoral. John Lennon said something about Jesus that was unkind. They made a drug reference in Rubber Soul. Wow, what a huge problem. It's so immoral. It's so edgy. It's so out there. We're offended. You know, this person shouldn't be able to speak because they're a Wiccan, you know, a la the 1980s. This person they're too far left. Maybe they're a communist, so they don't have rights. It's basically the same bullshit. You're the book burners of the new generation. You're not the cool people. You're the lame-os. You're the totally lame idiots who you can't make your own content because you're not talented enough. So you just want to shit down other people's throats because you lack talent. You're bored or you're aging and bitter. That's essentially what it boils down to. Or people who are simply, they're cowards. They're easily panicked. They're easily spooked. Oh, YouTube has a Nazi problem. No, it doesn't. You probably don't even know how to upload a video on YouTube. What qualifies you as an expert on tech culture? None of these people know what they're talking about. You see the right-wing watch right up. It's like, it's so obviously fake that only a person who is totally isolated, they have to be living under a rock to take it seriously. They couldn't possibly if they knew how the site actually friggin' functioned. So yeah, YouTube, good luck in strangulating yourself, I suppose. I don't understand it. You want to make money, right? This is how you lose money. It's how you alienate people that are actually bringing money to the platform in terms of, hey, you know, people join up, they join YouTube, they find our content, so they stick around and they keep watching it. Maybe they get served ads. It's essentially how it works. But keep it up. Keep whining and dining CNN or MSNBC and the Wall Street Journal, Fox News and Breitbart. I'm sure that's really going to be a cash cow in 10 years when all of the people that pay any attention to them are dead or in the old folks' home. It's going to be so great, dude. That's about all. Peace out.